Do you want to know the three biggest trends surfacing in the 2021 housing market? I'll talk about them all next on Tom's Take. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. So we are in the season of predictions and year in review, and we are doing the exact same thing here on Tom's Take. Specifically, I'm seeing three major trends that will emerge or already have started to emerge for the 2021 housing market. I'm going to explain them all to you and then what that means for buyers and sellers, because this is stuff that's going to affect all your real estate decisions over the next 12 months. We've heard these things from a lot of experts in the field, Realtor.com, coaches, Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, Lawrence Yoon from the National Association of Realtors. And what we're seeing is it's the same three trends that everyone's talking about. So the first one is millennials and Generation Z buyers. So in early 2020, a lot of millennials and Generation Z buyers were starting to enter the market. This year, coming up in 2021, 74% of millennials want to purchase a home. That's 54 million people. We're seeing Generation Z do the same thing. And what happened was, these folks weren't buying houses. They didn't get into those first-time buyer homes, and now they're flooding the market at very high levels. So it's creating a lot of demand, and it's one of the biggest drivers in the housing market. So we're going to see more of that in 2021, meaning there's going to be more buyers out there for those first-time buyer and trade-up properties. And then if you get the person making the second trade-up from like the mid-priced home to maybe a premium or a luxury price point, it's going to affect that market as well. That's going to continue as we head into 2021. The second trend is remote work, right? So we've all heard about this. A lot of people are still working remote. In 2018, only about 25% of workers were working remotely, working from home. And then in the beginning of this year, once the coronavirus and the pandemic hit, we saw that number jump to 1/3 of home shoppers reporting that they worked remotely even before the coronavirus, and then after the virus started to affect our lives, think March, April, May, another 37% of home shoppers said they were working remotely as a result. So that's almost 2/3 of the buyers that are out there. So that's going to affect features in homes. We've seen the word home office used a lot. Continue to do that. Have flexible space. These are all important marketing messages that your agent should be thinking about if you're looking to put your home on the market. So we're going to see more people needing to work remotely. And the third trend kind of factors into this a little bit is the suburban migration. And we're seeing that right here in the greater Philadelphia area, where over the summer, a survey of home shoppers from Realtor.com showed that the majority of respondents didn't really change their willingness to commute, but those who did change, 3 out of 4 said they were willing to live further away from their office, and they're willing to eat crow on their commute because they're not going in as much. They're maybe going in 1-2 days a week instead of that 5-day-a-week grind, so you can get more bang for your buck in some of these suburban locations. You can get a bigger yard, more square footage, lower price. All those things that people move to the suburbs for, it's now becoming more commonplace. So decentralization of cities, I'm clear cities are going to come back, don't get me wrong, but this is just what we're talking about for next year in 2021. So we got these three trends. We got remote work, suburban migration, millennials and Gen Z. What does it mean? What's it mean for the market? So for buyers, we're still seeing low rates. Rates are predicted to go up as we head into next year. We're still seeing low rates. We're still seeing high affordability. And we're going to see an increased number of existing sellers come back to the market in 2021. That's all documented from all the experts out there. I mentioned a few of them at the beginning of the show. So we're going to see more opportunities for buyers, low rates, even though they're going to start to tick up a little bit. And it's still going to be a pretty fast-paced market. Be ready to move quickly and understand that prices are going to continue to go up, which leads me to sellers. So we're seeing prices year over year in our marketplace are up a little over 7%. That's a huge number. So knowing that's the case, we're going to see those prices increase further because even if there's more inventory coming to the market, we still have this low supply. And we're also going to see affordability creep down a little bit as rates go up. So what this tells me for a seller, if you want to get into the market and get your home sold and maximize the value, act sooner than later. We know what the market looks like now. We don't know what it's going to look like in May. And if you're a buyer and you see the right home and it's like a 70 to 80% fit, you're doing pretty well. Let me be clear, a 70 to 80% fit, you're doing pretty well. We're not in a brand new housing market. We've got used houses here. They're a little older, a little different. So because of that, you should be ready to move on that because, again, you're buying the home with your payment. You're not buying it with the purchase price. And that's only going to go up. And if rates go up, we know what that's going to do to your monthly costs. So with all these buyers flooding the market, the millennials and Gen Z buyers, get into the market early. Get instant updates from your agent. Knowing that remote work's going to be the case, maybe you're better positioned to find a home in a city market, in a market that's a little more urban. And with the suburban migration, know that there's going to be more competition for some of these homes. So you better be ready to act quickly and try to lock in a payment because as prices go up and rates go up, it's going to cost you more later. So those are the three trends we see. We're seeing this across the board from a lot of experts. You got questions, you want to know what that means for your particular situation, you know where to reach me, and we'll keep all the information coming. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.